Hello everyone, my name is Kate Anderson, and today I'll be discussing the Sami people, Noedi, the traditional Sami ritual, and the central role of the Sami drum in trance, healing, divination, and communication with the spirit world. The Sami people are the indigenous people of Sapmi, which is a region spanning northern Norway, Sweden, Finland, and the Kola Peninsula in Russia, as you can see in the map to the left. The majority of Sami settlements are located in northern Norway. Their culture has historically centered on reindeer herding, fishing, hunting, and seasonal movement across vast northern landscapes. Reindeer herding is not only spiritual but also used economically for the Sami. They make a living by selling reindeer products, and almost no part of the reindeer isn't used, including meat, hides, and antlers transformed into tools and art. Reindeer cuisine, such as the traditional stew bidos, remains a cornerstone of Sami identity. As Lehtela, a renowned Sami historian, writes, Sami worldviews are based on reciprocal relationships with the land, animals, and spiritual forces, intertwining ecology and cosmology. This deep connection to the land provides the foundation for Noedi's spiritual practices. Within Sami communities, the Noedi is a shaman who serves as a healer, diviner, spirit communicator, and protector. Dubois describes the Noedi as someone who maintains balance between the visible and invisible worlds, highlighting that their authority depended on both skill and community trust. Their responsibilities included diagnosing and treating illness, communicating with supernatural beings, ensuring community safety, and resolving spiritual imbalance. Lehtela notes that Noedi abilities often emerged through signs, dreams, or lineage, indicating both inherited and learned dimensions. Noedis can perform both good and evil, and because of this, they were feared for their powers. The Noedi's tools include the sacred drum, trance methods, and ritual objects, each essential for spiritual meditation. The drum is one of the most important tools for Noedi's rituals, and the drum is made of reindeer hide stretched over a wooden frame and was a powerful sacred tool. Its surface was painted using a paste made from alder tree bark and included symbols representing spirits, animals, ancestors, and mythological beings. According to Hultkrantz, a Swedish author, its foremost role was to serve as an instrument for ecstatic excitation, while its secondary role was divination. Prins, a Dutch anthropologist, explains that these painted figures formed a visual map of the Sami universe, guiding the Noedi in ritual journeys. The drums are usually split into levels representing worlds. So the top level is the heavens, then the world of the living, and then below is the underworld. This reflects what Joy describes as a visual framework through which the Noedi navigated multiple levels of the Sami cosmos. Francis Joy, a Finnish Sami researcher, also writes that the painted motifs were active spiritual agents, meaning the symbols themselves were understood to hold presence and agency. So the drum operated simultaneously as a map, a portal, and a communication device. To enter trance, the Noedi used rhythmic drumming with a carved antler hammer called a balin, or sometimes a Thor hammer, named after the Norse thunder god. As you can see on the right, those are some examples of the hammers. As the tempo increased, the Noedi shifted into an altered state of consciousness. Finnish professor Sikala explains this as a method of sensory stimulation that produces excitatory mental states and ecstatic trances, commonly found across other Siberian and Arctic shamanic traditions as well as with the Sami. She also notes that shamanic training involves mastering the psychic mechanisms of ecstasy. During trance, the Noedi's free soul was believed to travel to spirit realms to seek knowledge, healing, or lost objects. Joy adds that drumming was intentionally used to summon helping spirits who assisted in tasks such as healing, divination, and locating resources. In divinatory rituals, a pointer in the shape of a ring, called a vorbi, also carved out of reindeer bone or wood, was placed on the drum skin. As you can see in the top photo on the left, there is that little white piece, and that is the pointer. As the Noedi drummed, vibrations caused the pointer to move until it landed on a symbol. Prinz explains, if the ring falls upon any creature there pictured, they take it for the sacrifice which the ghost desires. Hultkrantz states that the symbolism of the figure landed upon resolved the drummer's question, making the drum a diagnostic tool. Divination helped determine causes of illness, locate lost reindeer, identify offended spirits, or guide migration decisions. In the Sami worldview, illness affects not just individuals but entire communities by disrupting relationships among humans, animals, ancestors, and spirits. Dubois explains only one individual may be suffering, but the illness itself is often experienced communally. And it is precisely this collective therapy which a shamanic seance can supply. This means Noedi healing wasn't just biomedical, it was social, emotional, and cosmological. Ritual seances brought together family members, community participants, yoik singing, and drumming, reinforcing shared identity and spiritual cohesion. Lettela adds that these gatherings reaffirmed the bonds between people and their ancestral spirits, strengthening cultural continuity. The scholar Copley Koch explains in her article, Polyphony in Sami Narratives, that beginning in the 1600s, Christian missionaries sought to eradicate Sami spirituality. Because the drum was central to Noedi practice, it became the primary target. The Swedish historian Kvist describes how the 1689 trials resulted in widespread confiscation and destruction of drums, fines, whipping, and even the 1693 execution of a Sami man accused of sorcery. The drum pictured on the slide is a real photo that I found from the British Museum, and this drum was on exhibition at the museum as latest as 2021. Colonization wasn't only religious, it was also educational and political. For example, a boarding school was opened in 1910 in Havika that aimed to educate Sami children and assimilate them into Norwegian culture and life. After severe criticism, the school closed in 1951. The top picture there is a picture of the last class that was at the school before its closing. Additionally, by the end of the 17th century, it was mandatory for children to receive a Christian name at birth and for Sami citizens to attend church and be baptized. According to Joy, confiscating drums removed the center of Sami spiritual authority, creating what he calls a ritual silence within communities. Today, only about 100,000 people identify as Sami, but cultural revitalization is still vibrant and growing. There's been a recent resurgence of drum making, yoik singing, Sami political activism, and indigenous media and art. In recent decades, several Sami drums stolen and held in European museums have been returned to the Sami. Events like the annual Sami
I'm a traditional
Grand Prix,
singer
which have been
called
happening
Joiker,
since
and what I
1990,
perform is
celebrate Sami
joiking, which
music
is
and
the
yoik
Sami way of
traditions.
singing. I
And
learned
it
joiking
connects
from
younger
my
generations
mother and
to
my
ancestral
grandfather, and it's
practices
passed through
through a yoik
generations.
and song
It has a lot of emotions,
It has
a
started
lot
to
of
be shown on
feelings
TV
connected
and live
to it.
streamed as well, making it more accessible for
I'm from
everyone.
northern Norway, Sápmi. We are proud
Revitalization
people,
movements also
and we are
connect
proud
to
of our
broader
culture.
indigenous rights, land protection, and cultural resurgence in
We are
Sami.
the indigenous people of the north
Modern
and
Sami
the first
activism,
people living
including
there in the coastal
protests
areas
over wind
after
farms,
the Ice
mining
Age, when
rates,
the
and reindeer
land
grazing
rised up.
rights,
Arctic Winter Games has
reflects how
become a
environmental
very
protection
nice
is
and big
tied to
opportunity
spiritual
for Sami
renewal.
kids. What has
Since
been very
Sami
emotional for me
cosmology
this
is
year is to sit
fundamentally
and watch
based
this
on
cultural
maintaining
performance.
respectful
And
relationships
first time I
with
saw
the
this
land.
performance, I was just crying all the time because
Even
it's
popular
very
media
emotional.
such as Frozen 2, included many Sami cultural aspects, including the Northolder tribe in the movie, which was based on the Sami people. The film involved Sami cultural advisors and increased global awareness of Sami identity. And in April 2024, Netflix released its first original Sami language film, a significant step in Indigenous representation. I also wanted to include a TikTok video of a young Sami man yoiking, which was posted on the CBC Indigenous TikTok page.
I'm a traditional singer called Yoiker,
Yeah. To conclude, the Noedi served as a healer, diviner, mediator, and guide within Sami society. The drum operated as a sacred instrument of trance, divination, and cosmological knowledge. Colonial suppression attempted to erase these traditions through drum destruction, legal persecution, and cultural assimilation. But Sami's spiritual knowledge survived through oral tradition, memory, and resilience. Thanks to revitalization efforts, the Sami continue to reclaim their identity, language, and spiritual practices. Thank you for listening. Gitu!